As we get closer and closer to Christmas and all the holidays, we certainly don't want to neglect our drone audience. So today we're going to take a look at this Drocon DC-08. This is a drone that has a GPS on board, and as you can see down here, camera on a gimbal. We want to test this today. I want to show you everything that comes in the box at the end of the video if we like it, but we're going to fly this and let you know if it's worth your hard-earned money. Let's take a look at this and get it in the air. Down and out to start the motors. And let's throttle up for takeoff. Okay. All we want to do for just a second is get a nice little hover test. I'll do that a little farther away from us just in case it would start to toilet bowl or something. We don't want to be in the way of that. So we like to let it hover here for a good 20 seconds or so before we go fly farther away to make sure everything is locked in place. Snapping the legs on, plugging the camera in, and installing the props literally took me about 1 minute. I do like that no screws were involved. That's really cool. Now when I look at our screen recording and our live video feed, I see that our props are in the shot. So what I'm doing is angling the camera down some, or at least trying to. See if I can get it to go the right way. I may have to go.
There's a knob on the top left of the transmitter to make it go up and down. And
it doesn't seem to be, sometimes it looks like it wants to move, but it's not moving. So we're just going to have to go with that angle right now. Okay, that's all right. Well, at least we still have a decent feed. So let's fly up and out some. And I'll talk about the calibration process. The instructions that are included, it was a really, really easy and good compass calibration process. We did it in the first try. We tend to not show these things when the instructions are good because there's really no need to. They show us how to do it, and if you were to buy this, like if you are watching this and you like the video feed, you click our link in the description box below and you realize you like the price and you think this is the drone for you, then trust me when I say the compass calibration is very easy and the included instructions do a great job showing you how to do that.
Yeah, we got it calibrated the first time in like 10 seconds.
Right. Now, just a couple talking points here. These are brushed motors, so the price should reflect that. And when I talk about the price this time of the year, I tend to not talk about a specific number because especially on Amazon, prices fluctuate so much. And sometimes you'll click the link and you'll see the price and lo and behold, there might be a $20 or $30 coupon that all you have to do is click the little box to take advantage of. So as far as cruising around goes, this is doing a pretty good job. I think I'm going to do one more pass and then we'll do a little bit of a range test. We're also going to try to keep track of our flight time here. So a lot of people like to buy drones as gifts for the holidays for, you know, anyone that's interested in this. Any people that are 14 and older. and I think that by us showing you a few options, at least you know whether or not, while you watch this video, if you think this is a good drone as that option for you. You know, we have featured probably 1,000 different drones on our channel, and we have seen some real winners and some real stinkers, and this is a little bit more on the positive side. You know, we have to keep in mind our price point when we're talking about brushed motors, but there are functions on this drone that I do like. The calibration process being easy, the legs that snap on and off, so easy for transportation. The props are kind of copying DJI's prop locking mechanism idea. I think we're going to fly higher and a bit farther out now, Abby. And the fact that this is a bigger drone with pretty nice lights lets us know that we can fly it farther away than we would a smaller drone. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to fly out a little farther. I wish I could angle the camera down some. I really wish it would let me go.
It beeps.
There, actually, it did go down some there. It finally went down. I just kept clicking it down some. And it seems like our speed picked up a little bit too. Now, of course, we're still maintaining a good line of sight and we're 200 meters out. Now at this price and grade of drone, I don't like to go any farther out than that. But as you can see from the screen recording on Abby's iPhone, we have a really nice signal still, although it's choppy. So the latency is pretty rough. But if I'm patient and I just kind of point it back toward us, then I can start flying back. So I'm going to do that now. And if we ever completely lose our signal, because this is a GPS drone, we know we can hit the return to home button and it'll come right back to where it took off, or at least close. I do want to test that too. Now, the telemetry on screen tells us how far away we are, but it's also telling us You know what, I'm gonna hit return to home because the battery is getting low. I'm gonna do that on the app.
Oh.
No, not auto landing.
There's like follow me and circle mode.
Yes, we want it to return because it's getting out there and it does actually look like it's drifting a hair.
Yeah, it's drifting to the right.
So I hit return to home and it's not a good indication. This drone may go down in the trees. I'm gonna start walking out there to get signal back.
Here, I'll walk with you and you can talk. Is it pointed at us, the camera? Or is it pointed away?
The camera is pointed away and it's veering off to the right and it's still drifting and I am not pushing it that way.
It's definitely not returning to home.
No, it's not. I'm going to hit that again in the app and I think return home and land. Yes, please.
So you hit return to home again.
Yeah,
it appears to be going farther and farther.
Now, if I would...
Oh, it just picked up speed.
It picked up speed and it is going a bit further away.
Now guys, this is a GPS drone. We have how many satellites right now, Nate?
17 satellites.
17 satellites. And it's still going the wrong way.
I'm holding back to try to get it to come back because I know which way the drone was facing and it has certainly picked up speed.
It is going to the right.
Maybe you get a shot of this. Now I'm pushing in the opposite direction because although it looks like we're close to those power lines, we know that we aren't. Here we go. I've finally gotten connection back and it is coming back. So this is a good...
What's the battery level at?
The telemetry is completely lost. So we're just doing this all by line of sight right now, which is this is a very, very good reason I want to tell you guys. There's nothing against the drone per se because the price point that we're at just tells us what quality of drone we're looking at here. But there are a lot of people that will fly their drones over houses and over people to test them for the first time. I highly discourage you from doing that. Here we go, we have our telemetry back, our connection is back and it is strong, so we're good. I am gonna lower this some though and fly it a bit closer and a bit safer because I know our battery is getting low. I would advise you guys over the holidays while you're buying drones and getting things for yourself and shopping around and looking at other YouTubers, you know, just be careful who you're watching. You don't want to be encouraged to fly over houses ever for any reason because that type of thing can happen anytime, very easily. Yeah, there we go. So we've got our total control over the drone again, but look, if you guys can see perspective here, how far Abby and I had to walk out. We're literally at the edge of Death Valley to get the control of the drone back. I think what happened was it lost GPS connection and it's in just a regular altitude hold mode now. So it was drifting away in the slight breeze that we have. That makes perfect sense. So in other words, don't fly this over 200 meters away because I'd say that's its range limit. For a bigger drone, it's easy to do that because you can still maintain line of sight and still see it. And so we just don't want to do that. Let's fly over Death Valley some, Abby. Now the gimbal on this drone is actually not a gimbal at all. As you guys can probably see by how like not stable the footage is, it looks like it has a gimbal. And yeah, you can supposedly aim the camera up and down, but
no stabilization.
No stabilization. So images can be very, very deceiving. Drocon has put out some good drones before, but there are a few factors here that would keep me from ranting and raving about this in a very, very positive light that would encourage you all to rush out and buy this.
Do you want to see if any of the features work?
Well, we have lost our GPS mode, so I'm going to try to get it back in that mode. Let's see here. Now we're in GPS mode. Let's try a follow me function.
Okay.
Nope, I'm sorry.
There.
It is low enough of a battery that it is returning itself to home where
which is off. Over there.
Right.
So that's where we started.
And let's see.
That was an 8.5 minute flight time.
Yeah, but that's not a horrible flight time.
It's actually better than I thought for such a big drone with brush motors.
So we'll wait for it to land, or maybe I'll throttle down because that's where it wants to be. And then we'll walk over and see how close that is to where it took off. Looks like it's pretty close. Oh, and now I'm pushing full down, yet it's not coming down. Let's try again. I'm pushing full down, and let's see if it will land. Very slowly, and then it goes back up on its own.
Okay, maybe stop hitting the buttons. Let it do its thing.
I was holding down that whole time.
Hit return to home.
I'll hit the auto land button. Auto landing, yes. Let's see if that'll override. This is not the greatest drone to hit the market, I can tell you that very confidently. I just pressed auto land on the app and it seems to be going down further. Interesting that it wouldn't let me just throttle down and land, but there we go, right in the grassy field. Now, again, the size on this thing is probably one of its best key features. It was easy to see while I was flying it, and when it was close, it was maintaining a really good GPS position. But beyond that, there's not much great I can say about it. It does have really big brushed motors. So when you have big brushed motors like that are geared out to go to the prop, they generally don't last too long. They're working pretty hard to keep this weight on the drone in the air. I guess if you're restricted to only buying on Amazon, maybe you're a huge Drocon fan, this still could be a possibility for you. I'm going to leave that final decision up to you. This is the transmitter, and that's
my favorite part.
Yeah,
chip
me too.
clip.
The alligator chip clip. I like that. All phones fit in there in their cases, and I still say pretty much all drones should use this method. Even DJI still has troubles fitting all phones in their controlling method, and that's like super cheap. It just works. This was how we were supposed to be able to control the camera angle, and that didn't work at all. And then the buttons are not labeled, and I like the shape of the controller, but I don't like that the buttons aren't labeled. Generally now on these type of things you have an H with a circle around it, or something, a picture or video button to indicate that's what you're supposed to do.
Could you imagine getting a TV remote control with nothing labeled?
That'd be crazy, yeah. Believe it or not, this is far from the worst drone we've ever featured on the channel. This is probably, you know, if I had to rank them between 1 and 1,000, because that's about how many we've done, this is probably up there in the 400s. You know, it's doing okay. Regardless, we're here to show you this in action. I'm not impressed enough to show you everything that comes in the box, but if you are in love with this, you're drooling over it, we'll have it linked in the description box below. We want you to have the best possible experience in the hobby, and for us, you know, our goal is just to show you these things in action. If we love it, we're gonna tell you. This is just right there on the fence, okay? Leave that one up to you. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you in the next video.
Bye.